And welcome back, everyone, to part 8 of What If Naruto Went Back in Time with His Memories. Last time on Naruto What If, the Chunin exams finals were underway. Naruto and the gang had done pretty well, but with the change in the lineup of the timeline and the matches, not everyone could make it. Naruto had beaten Sakura, Sasuke had beaten Tamari, Gaara had beaten Shino, and Kankuro forfeited. And Neji beat Dosu. So now we cut to the secondary matches of the second round of the final matches. Now, we should note here that Orochimaru is still planning to invade the Leaf. What he doesn't know is that the third, Jiraiya, Kakashi, Naruto, and now, by extension, a lot of people, especially all the main ninja who are doing their jobs in the village, know this as well. So he's not ready for the counter strike, we'll call it, but he's not calling the invasion yet. He wants to see Sasuke do better than what he's already seen, and Gaara is the catalyst for the invasion, and Gaara hasn't, really done that yet. Plus, he also wants to see what Naruto can do, given everything Naruto showed him in the Forest of Death. So he's very much encouraging the fights to continue right now. He'll give his, all right, we're good to go moment. It's a little bit, I have been yawning weirdly a lot for the last hour. So, with that said, the next match, Sasuke Uchiha versus Neji Hyuga. Please enter the ring. And they enter the ring. And the match begins. And Neji goes off on his fate has decided me to be the winner spiel. Which really actually kind of illustrates a lot of the arrogance of Neji when you think about it. It's not just that he just believed no one could escape their destiny. He believed himself so superior to everyone else in his grade that he just chalked up the fate as well until he got his ass kicked by that dead last. So, Sasuke is not Naruto. Sasuke is not going to be doing the talk no jutsu in any special way. But what he can do, though, is kind of rip into Neji's ideology about these things. Particularly, I could see a line along the lines of, Sasuke scoffing. He's like, you know what? Screw your fate. Fate's just an excuse cowards use when they can't justify what happens. And this probably really strikes a chord with Neji and pisses him off. And their fight definitely begins. Sasuke would come in, draw his sword, and they'd get into close-range combat. Neji quickly notes, though, that he is as fast as Lee is without his weights. That normally shouldn't matter because when Lee took his weights off in the Chunin preliminaries, Neji still wasn't surprised or concerned or anything like that, which tells me he could have beaten Rock Lee without his weights on. But Sasuke has two things going for him that Lee didn't. Actual jutsu and a Sharingan, which can predict his opponent's movements. So, while Neji probably is surprised by the amount of speed that's being shown, he's not necessarily overwhelmed by it. But Sasuke being able to use his Sharingan, and my arm just popped on that one. Whoop. Being able to use his Sharingan is something that he can't readily fight against. But his Byakugan and Gentle Fist style make up for that, because if they both graze each other, Neji's the one that's more dangerous just to even get a graze from. So their fight is about that even when it comes to their taijutsu. However, Neji is slowly starting to land one or two hits, and Sasuke's noticing this, so he backs off. They then have another conversation about fate and how fate's stupid and and Sasuke, and that's why he's so obsessed with this. And he reveals the headband, the curse seal, all that. What happened to his father? Hiyashi hears this and does feel regret. We know he does. And Sasuke kind of thinks back to his family and thinks on some level we're kind of the same. We think that something happened and we couldn't control it. And he says, I lost my family, all of my family in one night by another member of my family. He just got his sword ready. But you know what I didn't do? I didn't blame it on some invisible made up thing like fate. I took responsibility and action for it. I will avenge my clan, no matter what. But maybe things didn't go your way. But you can either grow and get stronger and prove everyone wrong, or you can just lay down and take it. But that's not my style. He just sticks a sword to the ground. But laying down and take it isn't my style. Lightning style, false lightning jutsu, and he just fires false lightning. Neji just reduces rotation. Sasuke's coming in, thinking that the smoke's going to give him an edge, but Neji's Byakugan is there. It sees him. You're within my divination, Sasuke. 2 pops, 4 pops, 6. Hey, Trigun, 64 pongs! Now, Sasuke's Sharingan will allow him to dodge a certain amount of that, but I think about at least a dozen of his chakra points get hit. His chakras acting all wonky. And then Sasuke, in a desperate attempt, just activates, and I can't remember the name of the technique, but it's the one where he basically strikes the ground and lightning kind of like travels and arcs to a certain point. He does that and just boom, and it hits Neji. Just Sasuke is able to catch himself. Chidori! It's just kidding. And he basically does a Chidori, but it's basically just the jab with his hand just right into his gut, just and just puts Neji on the ground, right in the ribs, right in the gut. And Neji's on the ground. He tries to get up, but he's got a sword on. And Sasuke's got it there. It's like, you move, I kill. And look, Sasuke is obviously not going to actually kill him, but it's basically proving the point. It's like, I win. And Neji's just, damn it. And Neji Hyuga is unable to battle. The winner is Sasuke Uchiha. And Sasuke gives him one little last, not speech, but life lesson, let's call it, about fate and destiny, accepting and not accepting things. And Neji is whisked off to the doctors, where Hiyashi ultimately meets up with him, tells him what ultimately happened, and apologizes to him. Now, will Neji change to his canon counterpart after this, where he's a lot more accepting of things, he's apologizing to Lee, he ultimately, didn't accept his fate, overcame his own destiny. Pardon? Not right away, because Naruto was a bit more, it was a bit more impactful what he did, because he was the dead last and he did beat him. But either way, so everyone's cheering, and the Kazekage mentions, "My, the Sasuke is impressive. Indeed, he is." But I'm wondering about this boy, Naruto Uzumaki, was it? He does seem to have quite a lot of potential. And Sarutobi, again, not stupid as he is. I might even argue he's stronger than Sasuke. Oh, Sasuke would probably argue against it as well. Sasuke would probably argue against it as well, I suppose. It's like, I see, interesting. It's too bad he's going to have to go up against Gaara. He is our village's pride and joy, after all. Again, Sarutobi knows who Gaara is, thank courtesy of Naruto. Sorry, I got like a little blood blister. So the match is announced. They're in the ring. Gaara's waiting in the ring. Naruto shows up, and the match is announced. And his sand is at the ready. Killing you, Naruto Uzumaki, will be such a thrill for Mother. You mean the Shikaku? And to which again, Gaara is a little shut. Yeah, I know all about it, Gaara. You don't have to listen to Shikaku. And Shikaku's actually yelling in his head, saying, you do have to listen to me. And like, I'm Mother after all. Please don't make it. Mother is angry. What's your blood? You don't have to take my blood. You don't have to kill you. I'm sorry for what happened to you in your life. I am sorry about your mother passing. I am sorry that the one you called your best friend and the mentor tried to kill you. And then now Gaara's getting just sorry, and he basically what Naruto is doing is he's essentially giving him the talk no jutsu he gets at the end of their fight in the forest. Where it's believe me, I understand it. It's almost unbearable, the pain of being alone. I was alone all my life, and it hurt. It was like an unbearable weight on my chest, on my head, on my heart. But I found people who cared for me who liked me for who I am. We don't have to kill each other. To which that worked on Gaara in the fight after the fight, the first fight, or whatever, because he had just gotten his ass kicked and thought he was going to be killed. And then he realizes that Naruto was like him, was able to overcome the circumstances of his birth and all that, and was doing everything he can to help Gaara. Here, though, Gaara's now just like, shut up, and just fires like sand in a tsunami at him. And Naruto's like, oh, damn it. Great breakthrough! Boom, blast the sand apart. Multiple clones are coming to the side. Naruto's rushing in. Kill him! Kill him! I swear I'll kill you, Naruto Uzumaki! It's like, fire style, fireball jutsu, great breakthrough, collaboration art! Raging Flame Jutsu, or whatever you want to call it. And in intensifying the flame with the Wind Jutsu, he also fires out a couple clones of the False Lightning Jutsu, because lightning can crystallize sand and earth when done properly. It's strong against earth for a reason in the Naruto world. So it's messing with the sand, crystallizing some of it. Guys, like, and then Naruto comes in, actually landing shots. We don't have to fight, I understand what you've been through, Gaara, please. It's like, shut up! And Naruto does have to get out of the way. He does get hit by some of the sand, but is able to bust out of it. And, they square off, like, I swear, I'll kill you. And then he activates the Sand Sphere Jutsu, and he's like, damn it, I can't get through that. And he remembers, that's right, that's the jutsu he used to. It's like, I gotta get him out of that before it's too late. And Naruto also realizes that means, it also means that, and he kind of gives a look to Sarutobi and Kakashi. And it's like, oh, it's about time. Naruto does the hand signs, and a tornado fist explosion. And the Rasengan, as we illustrated with Tornado Fist, or like similar jutsu, there was like, say, a Tornado Flame Jutsu. That'd be kind of cool. Or Whirlpool Fist. I'm trying to think of actually what all the elemental versions of those would be. Most of them would be pretty easy to identify. Instead of a tornado, you'd have a Whirlpool Fist, does the same thing but with water. A Fire Tornado would basically be the same thing. Earth Style would be a Sandstorm Fist. What would the Lightning be? I think the lightning wouldn't really be lightning per se. It'd be like, you'd have to use it with like a storm release, and it'd be storm release tornado vortex or something like that. But like pure lightning, that would be a bit more, because the style of a tornado is very easy to mimic from all those other elements. For a lightning based jutsu, a tornado is not easy to mimic. Now with a storm release, that'd be different, but I don't know. I mean, it could be like, you could call it like Thunder Vortex or something. That's a good name, actually. Thunder Vortex Fist or something like that. And yeah, hypothetically, that would be it. Point being, any elemental Rasengan has the elements just kind of combined in when he's forming it. And he's basically, it's collaboration jutsu, not Tornado Fist, not Wind Style Resurgence, but Wind Style Rasengan Tornado Fist. It's the same thing. And he didn't go the Rasen Shuriken because, frankly, that would probably waste Gaara. Even in that dome sphere, a Rasen Shuriken would just annihilate him. And he's not trying to do that. He's trying to break the sphere open and maybe hopefully get Gaara to the point where he can wake up. And he does. He wastes a lot of the sand cards away. The Blades Dukes cut Gaara's arm and even maybe all over his chest. And Gaara even just like, what's this? Is this blood? This is my blood. It's my blood! And he just the Chikaka wakes up briefly and and then the invasion takes place. They do the Genjus to put the crowd under the spell. The third, Orochimaru kidnaps the third. They go up onto the roof. Kakashi and Guy are, attacking Sound Shinobi, waking up certain Shinobi that they can. And this version, it's Naruto who goes after Gaara, not Sasuke. And Kakashi knows that, based on everything Naruto told him about his life, that this is good, but he should probably at least send Sasuke as well. And even send Shikamaru. Well, then again, Shikamaru is in the spectator, but not in spectator booth. He's in the... actually, there wasn't really, as far as I can remember, there wasn't a spectator booth. There was... a combatants booth. There was a area. Maybe there is. We didn't see it, but everyone who participated prior was like Naruto was up in the spectator seats, no problem, because they had to wait for his turn. So anyway, Shikamaru's probably waiting as well, and you get more or less the same team sent after him, minus the fact that Sakura is actually not that weak here now. She's actually pretty strong. Shikamaru is still useful. Sasuke is sent after as well, although he's definitely not top. Shikamaru does the stall tactic to stall the Sound Ninja while Azuma comes in. Sasuke actually holds off. Here's the big difference, that Temari and Kankuro, I think you actually get something akin to, what would be a scenario I remember these things happening, where basically it's one-on-one matches, trying to get to Naruto, and Sakura ends up fighting against Temari, and Sasuke ends up fighting against Kankuro. Sasuke luckily able to use his Chidori to basically just rip, I believe it's not Black Ant, but Karasu, right? It's Crow. Rip it apart, and because it's chakra and he's just destroying the limbs, he's able to avoid the poison because his Sharingan is able to kind of see the internal. He's able to notice them when it happens. You can see the chakra strings as well, so he's also aims for those. Shocks Kankuro, so I think he's not going to get poisoned by Kankuro. Meanwhile, Sakura, who's had a lot of time to recover now, even though she's still probably not in tip-top shape, and it was firing off, Earth Jutsu. I think she even tries a new one using her a chakra to fire the Crater Fist, as I've always called it. Right over hand firing out, Tamari just blows it away. Ultimately, Tamari gets caught in a Genjutsu from Sakura, who then fires Senbo right into her throwing arms. It's like, sorry, it's over, and just knocks her out. So Sasuke meets up with her. They try to meet up with Naruto. Meanwhile, fast rewind back a little bit. Sarutobi Sensei, I'm getting a little sleepy. What did he probably... it's implied that Jiraiya... First off, we know Jiraiya and Orochimaru were actually apparently best friends for a little bit. And it's implied that they had a relationship very similar to Naruto and Sasuke. You think that they ever called each other names like Sasuke and Naruto do? Dweeb, Tem, all that. It's like, maybe you should drink more coffee in the morning, Tem. It's like, what did you say? And all of a sudden, Nirochizo! And Orochimaru just he's actually been pierced quite a bit. Jiraiya. Sorry, but we already caught witness a little invasion long before you showed up. So the Konoha Shinobi are having a much easier time dealing with the sound and sand ninjas. Meanwhile, it's like, where's the old man? It's like, you really should be paying more attention. All of a sudden, Enma's staff comes right at his head. And he sheds his skin. I see. And then the Berry Jutsu goes off. But neither of you will be leaving here alive. And again, they were told about the Edo Tensei. So Orochimaru does the Edo Tensei, but Jiraiya... Now, is there a way to counter Edo Tensei? Well, hypothetically, all you gotta do is stop the seal matrix or mess with it with another seal or something like that. It's a summoning jutsu, but technically it's a jutsu formula. It's not a seal. But there is what looks to be like a seal on the ground when you make it. It's a jutsu part. I admit that. It's a space-time formula because it's summoning something from another place. The point being, Jiraiya being a master and that kind of stuff is like, yeah, no, sorry. And then, just as the coffins are about to rot, or are slowly rising, Jiraiya is just like, nope, sorry. And he's basically keeping the Edo Tensei from rising. What? It's like, yeah, as long as I'm here, those coffins aren't rising. Then I'll just kill you quickly, Jiraiya. You want to be able to stuff the Edo Tensei is impressive, but you have to focus on that so hard, don't you? So then, I'll just kill you. And then Sarutobi comes in. Are you forgetting about me, my old first students? And their battle is going hard and fast. And unlike before, old man Sarutobi, doesn't have to fight against Tobirama or Hashirama. So even though he's older and weaker, he now has the added advantage of no longer having to be tired up by those guys or fighting. He's just fighting Orochimaru 101 solo. And this is not something Orochimaru was playing for at all. He was hoping to overwhelm him with Edo Tensei. But I get the impression that he was pretty confident he could still take Sarutobi. Unfortunately, Sarutobi is like, nope, and they're throwing jutsu out. The long and short of where this ultimately ends, though, is something Naruto was trying to prevent from happening. The third giving his life. Now, Naruto has told the third everything that happened in the future. About how Orochimaru died, how he died against Orochimaru. Orochimaru convinced Sasuke to come go rogue. How ultimately Orochimaru was kind of instrumental for helping out in the war. And Naruto's been, as I mentioned, has been not sure about some of the choices he's making, because does he leave Orochimaru alive? Orochimaru was instrumental in the war, but can he prevent the war from happening anyway? If he prevents the war from happening, can there still be peace without the war? So, because someone brought that point up, it's like, it's a good point. And Naruto is just right now trying to prevent all of this from happening prior. And this is something that, at the same time, while Sarutobi knows that sometimes things happen the same way, they do it the same in every timeline, the kind of concept that sometimes things change. And so he says, Enma, I've got him! What is this? Your ambition ends here, Orochimaru. And he does the Reaper Death Seal. The big difference here, two big differences. One, he doesn't have a chest wound from a sword strike that hurt killing him. 2, he's nowhere near as tired as he was against first and the second, which means he can pull all of Orochimaru's soul. And as he does that, and Jiraiya's like, wait, old man. It's like, it's all right, Jiraiya. Please apologize to Naruto. I know he intended for me to survive. That's this time around. So I was right. I expected somehow the voice should have come from the future. No, he will be mine. All the wealth of information you could have. You can't take that away from me, old man. Everything will be mine. Nothing will stop my ambitions. Your foolishness is unparalleled, Orochimaru. Farewell, my disciple. May we meet again in the next life. And then finally just, and then Orochimaru just drops like a husk, like a shell. And everyone just sees that, it's like, damn it all. And again, I never commit the line to memory. But hold on, Sarutobi sent Sarutobi. Here's in Sarutobi. Let's see here. That line? It's a great line. It's like it's a poem, I believe. About like when spring falls and something like this, and tree buds bloom anew or something like that. Hold on. Okay, quotes. The last words. Yep. When the tree leaves dance, one shall find flames. The fire's shadow will illuminate the village, and once again, tree leaves shall bud anew. So yeah, a great line. Those are some nice last words. 100%. And so he falls, but he's taken Orochimaru with him. Now, do you recall Central Park and Fall? And when I tore the timeline's dress, it was a mess, I confess. Remember how we were kind of doing that? Well, this just did a weird thing where right now we were kind of doing this. But we kind of started to stabilize because Naruto, we started to stabilize stuff. But now, bonk! Like everything's now, Orochimaru's gone. Like the timeline, and, Naruto kind of feels a pang in his heart. But meanwhile, he's fighting Gaara at this time. Granted, this is all happening simultaneously with his fight with Gaara, so we'll save that for next part. Until then, though, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will see you folks for the next one. Have a good one.